The gentleman from Shenandoah, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rise for a point of personal privilege.
I may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, the predictable refrain from the other side of the aisle has begun. It started yesterday, I believe, in a press conference, and then the gentlewoman from Fairfax repeated this predictable refrain by beginning and ending her speech with referencing the members of this caucus as the party of no. Now, Mr. Speaker, if we are saying no to anything, it is to fiscal irresponsibility. Absolutely, we're saying no to that. But this notion that we are the party of no because we are saying no to the unfettered expansion of Obamacare through this broken system that is Medicaid, that's not accurate. It's untrue, and it's tired, quite frankly. Mr. Speaker, the major initiatives coming out of this legislature in this session are coming, the bulk of them, from the Republican caucus in this House of Delegates. If you look at SOL reform, led by Delegate Greason, we are taking a major step forward in improving our school system and the lives of our children. Also in that area, the gentleman from Augusta, from Stanton, Delegate Bell, is advancing the proposition of virtual schools. In the area of ethics reform, our majority leaders started work on this back in the fall to advance a bipartisan approach to ethics reform. In the area of mental health, we have had a subcommittee working diligently on trying to address the needs of our mental health system throughout this session. And frankly, it is only through the hard work of that subcommittee that we are going to have meaningful legislation coming out in that area. In the area of transportation innovation, we have passed half a dozen bills in this House to better our road system. And we have passed a dozen bills, finally, Mr. Speaker, to help our veterans and improve the lives of our veterans. The gentlewoman mentioned how we addressed our transportation issues by coming together. That's true, that did happen, but we did not hold our budget hostage to do that. That is not how we do business around here. Holding the budget hostage to advance other ideas and other issues is not how we do things. It's not how we should do things. Mr. Speaker, 2 weeks ago, again, as far as us being the party of no, we held a press conference where we advanced 50 bills that this caucus has put forth within those areas that I mentioned and beyond, showing leadership to improve the lives of Virginians and make sure that the taxpayers' money is being spent appropriately. In the area of the budget, we have said yes to investing in our schools with over $500 million in new K-12 spending. We have said yes to $26 million in tuition moderation and in-state tuition for in-state tuition slots. We have nearly $50 million in new funding for mental health to see that those reforms that we are putting in place are meaningful. While our governor is holding happy hour this session and crisscrossing the state to advance the expansion of Obamacare, we are here governing day in, day out, saying yes to many things, but mostly saying yes to good governance and fiscal responsibility. Mr. Speaker, just yesterday we offered a compromise, a path forward for everyone in this chamber, everyone in this town, to move forward, to get our budget done, and to address the issue that we've been debating. The first thing we have to do to make sure we have that path forward is fulfill our duties and pass a budget, a clean budget that isn't held hostage to these other notions and these other ideas. Then we can have a special session on Medicaid, and we can talk about the proposals that have been put forward. We can talk about any number of proposals that haven't been put forward yet that may represent better ideas in that regard. But we cannot delay this budget over the expansion of the debacle, as the gentleman from Washington said, that is Obamacare. Our budgets are separated by just $26 million right now, the House and Senate budgets. That is less than 0.1%. We agree on 99.9% of our budgets. There is no reason we can't get out of here by Saturday if we stop holding the budget hostage. But this governor, the other side of the aisle, the chamber down the hall, insist on holding up this budget so they can leverage the debate over Obamacare expansion. Mr. Speaker, the great irony in all this, I think, was addressed yesterday on the floor. The great irony is that even though the governor has chosen to begin the process of holding this budget hostage, just 6 months ago, as long as we're quoting governors on the floor today, He said that we should, quote, stop using the threat of a government shutdown as a bargaining chip in other negotiations, including over the health care law, end quote. Mr. Speaker, the path forward is clear. The hypocrisy that I just referenced will not go unnoticed by our constituents when we get to go home without a budget. Mr. Speaker, we're ready to say yes. We're ready to say yes to funding our schools. We're ready to say yes to making sure our teachers get paid on time and with a 1% salary increase in the second year, I might add. We're ready to make sure our troopers and sheriffs are on the job ensuring public safety. We are ready to ensure our courts are functioning, that our mental health system is up to speed. Mr. Speaker, we are ready to say yes to this budget and move on to other issues where we can debate them in due course. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.